We shall see. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Jim.
You missed us last week, did you?
There's lots of tragedies in history, and maybe that was an epoch moment for a lot of people missing us.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. Let me get Facebook going just in case anybody wants to watch us there. I'm going to share it in our group. What
With our
group?
groupies,
Huh?
with our groupies.
With our groupies, yes.
Yeah. hmm
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm gonna try and change this to blue. I think that would make
Okay. That's the only public group we have, so we're good. Okay.
Oh, that's better.
So, Mark, we want to talk about oceanic horror, right?
Well, why, Jim? Why?
It's, I don't know, some shark's birthday or something.
Oh, the last shark.
Yeah, it's like 57 years old or something, right?
That's an old shark. Well, a Greenland shark can be what,
Like,
2,000 years old or whatever the fuck it is.
yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Well, thanks for your input.
I'm not that smart. Sorry.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm pretty basic. Hey, but I got some of my posters hung up from the conventions. Hold on. One's falling down. Okay. I'm back. I know you were worried.
Mm,
Anyway, so we were going to talk about oceanic horror because it's Jaws' birthday, right?
right.
It's
But
what,
we're not going to talk about Jaws.
it's 50 years old, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Close to it, though, right? Just like us.
yeah, you're like 10 plus years older than Jaws, but
At least. At least.
you and Bruce.
Me and Bruce. Okay, so I have a list. Are you ready? We're gonna go over this list. It's the 35 scariest
So,
oceanic horror movies.
before we go over your list, Jim, because I
Yeah.
think that, that's a little bit of backup. But if I asked you, number one, are you afraid of the ocean at all?
I'd love to say no, but I rarely go to the ocean because for a while there I was a little obsessed with what's swimming in there, and I don't like it. I don't want it touching me.
Uh, what, like people or
Well, it's not just the people. There are bodies in the water, like things that move, and ew, no.
human bodies?
Sometimes,
How about like all those feet that washed up in Canada?
no, thank you. I hate feet anyway.
Well, let's not go
Anyway,
on that
Mark.
topic. That's
Yeah,
clear.
enough about that. Let's what is let's start right now. What
Well,
is the
yeah, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, like off the top of your head, if you name, and I kind of wanted to limit this to not like fresh water or lakes or anything, but just the
Yeah,
ocean, or it might be, maybe something that comes in from the ocean.
sure.
So, what are some of the things, like if I just asked you right now, name some of your favorite horror movies that are ocean based or, come from the ocean?
So one would see neither one I would the two that I'm going to mention I don't think are really horror movies.
That
They're
doesn't matter.
more they're more thrillers, right? So
Mhm.
Sphere is in
Yep.
my top 5, 100%. And then The Abyss.
So, and again, I think whenever you talk about like an environment, I think the environment itself can kind of just land itself to being horrific if you're
Sure.
scared of that environment.
Absolutely. But it's not the environment, it's what's under there because we know less about what's under the water than we do about what's up above us. And
Well,
that to me is terrifying.
yeah. So, but it's also like, is it deep water or is it just by itself?
No, it's more the deep water stuff that makes me a little nervous. At the beach, it doesn't bother me. I'm just not a big fan of it.
So it's like what do you call it? Like thalassophobia,
Thalassophobia or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know what's under you, so
Yeah.
you might be up here.
Exactly.
But in a way, whenever you're talking about things like Sphere, which I love, and to me, it is definitely got horror elements to it.
It does.
There is definitely those when you look at space and living deep underwater, they're kind of the same environment where you can't get out. So there's a claustrophobia
Yeah.
Aspect to it too.
But there's something that you have in space that you don't have underwater, and that is a void, right? We've not yet discovered intelligent life or had any encounters with intelligent life in space. We know there's shit in the water.
Well, I'm talking about movies, though.
I know. I'm just saying there's the claustrophobia is in both environments, but there's a little bit of a difference between the two, in my opinion.
But in both sets of circumstances, it's like a man-made thing.
Yes.
Built in an environment where there's no easy escape.
Exactly.
So Sphere, and again, Sphere, sci-fi, thriller / horror. I mean, I definitely think the horror elements are really, you go back to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, right? That's a big part of it.
I don't think it is, because it's more about, for me anyway, with Sphere, it was more about the fact that people did this to themselves.
Well, I'm talking about kind of the more visceral part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like they're under attack by a giant squid, right?
I mean, are they though? Are they really though?
No, but that's how it's presented.
Yes.
And that's a very 20,000 Leagues Under, because he's reading the book.
Yes. But it's all blank.
Jellyfish thing and everything else, right?
Yep.
But it's once you, it's this juxtaposition of you're in this safe environment, something attacks it, and it starts leaking. And then you have to figure out, oh shit, I might have to go outside. In your.
I think that's one of the things that space and underwater horror have in common, right? Is there's no place to go. That's the claustrophobia you were talking about. You don't have an escape. You're pretty much fucked.
Right.
100%. So what about you, Mark? What's your favorites?
So, I mean, there's lots of different ones as far as, different genres or subgenres.
Sure.
Linked with it. You got a lot of the creature feature ones. Again, open water would probably be, top of the list just for what it is, very realistic, whatever. And then you could jump into like Lovecraftian stuff, right?
You could.
You could do
Cold Skin.
You could do Underwater. You could do Call of Cthulhu. Anything like that. There's alien entities under the water. And then you have the ones that breach the land. It's like Inhumanoids from the Deep, or like The Lighthouse, even. I mean, to a certain extent.
I couldn't talk about that. I have not seen The Lighthouse.
Right. But I think just the visceral, for me, if I think about it, right, it's like you said, there's non-horror movies, which I think are kind of both enthralling and horrific. I'll give you an example. A movie I absolutely love, which is the Robert Redford movie, All Is Lost.
Don't know that one.
So it's just basically Robert Redford on a boat, and he's like doing like around the world sailing or something.
Okay.
And at one point, there's this shipping container that's just fallen off a big cargo boat.
Right.
Slams into the side of him. And then it's just, the struggle to survive. He's trying to patch it up. He's trying to do this, do that.
Right.
But it's just being so isolated out there.
Yeah.
That you have to rely on yourself.
Fair enough.
And, even watching, on YouTube, I love watching, like, the people doing the risky, like, climbing stuff.
Because you're afraid of heights.
on like, the Burj Khalifa or whatever, because that scares the shit out of me.
Yep.
But it's also interesting to watch people who do like the vlogs of doing that. They're just sailing from this place, across the Atlantic or Pacific by themselves in
Right.
this boat, and they're doing a video blog of it, which is one time, one hand when they're out there and so quiet, and you can start hearing the whales and it's beautiful, and then it's just chaotic. But they're out there, and you're not getting saved if something happens to this wooden vessel or this, the boat, or whatever, fiberglass boat gets fucked up, and you're done. You're done.
You're not
just
wrong.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. It's absolutely terrifying because there's no recourse.
right. But it's not. There's also a separate part, and I think whenever I was going through kind of like the COVID depression thing, where it seems so appealing just to be out there,
Right.
with nothing around you, and it's just so serene and everything else.
Until it's not.
And there's nothing, like there's no other worries in your life apart from just dealing with like the environment that you're living in right now. So
yeah,
I think it's both. Very. I'm very curious about it, but I wouldn't want to do it. But I'm going on a cruise soon. So.
Well, you're weird. Okay, so let's get into this list, right? Ready? Enough of us expounding on our minimalist thought. Anyway, so this is 35 movies. You ready?
Yep.
I don't know this first one. It's number 35. Oh, so I should say this is from Ranker, by the way. Last Breath with Woody Harrelson. Have you seen that?
No.
No, I've never heard of
it. That's like a fairly new one, and I think it's one that was based on a documentary.
It's actually this year.
And it's based on a documentary that the same guy that did the documentary, I think, made the movie.
Yep, it's the true story of a seasoned deep-sea diver who battles the raging elements to rescue a crewmate who's trapped hundreds of feet below the ocean surface.
Nope, but I'm going to check it out.
Sure. Next up is another one I've never heard of called The Damned from 2024. I take that back. I have heard of it. I have not seen it. I know I have heard of this movie.
So what's it about?
And actually, I take that back. I've seen this movie.
Wow, that's quite the reversal.
It really is. Because the picture that it shows, I didn't recognize. But, so this is about this little fishing village, and a ship wrecks, and they have to decide, do they let the survivors from the ship come on board or come on land, or do they keep them at bay? And I got to be honest, it was way too much drama for me, but it had some really good action sequences in it.
It almost sounds like the starting wraparound story, or not wraparound story, but the story for The Fog.
Kind of, except for the supernatural element, yeah.
Which again, The Fog would qualify for me as a oceanic horror.
Yeah, because the threat comes from the ocean, of course.
Yep.
Makes sense. Next up from 2021 is The Burning Sea. I'd not heard of this one.
No, I must get this list because...
I'll send you the link. It's a submarine operator descends to the ocean floor to save the man she loves from a sunken oil rig. Interesting. Not heard of that. I haven't heard of this one either. 2024's Dead Sea. After a fatal accident, a young woman and her friends are rescued by a fishing vessel that harbors a chilling secret.
That sounds like Dead Calm.
But Dead Calm, they rescued the problem, right? No, yeah. It wasn't. It was
the other way around, but
yeah. But I did love Dead Calm. I do love that film, and I don't care what anybody says. Oh, this one's going to be This was a sci-fi film, and it's from 2006, called Kraken: Tentacles of the Deep.
So this is where you could probably have like 10 podcasts full of Sci-Fi Channel or sci-fi related.
You could.
Megalodon versus four-headed shark attack versus, piranha.
It's three-headed nuclear shark attack.
What What was
I've
the
not
one?
heard of this one. I haven't
What
seen
was
it
the
either.
one with Jeffrey Combs? It's like Hammerhead something where they make like this.
Oh, the hybrid with the hybrid.
No, yeah, where they make like this Hammerhead guy.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Oh, I
fun.
don't know that one.
Yep, it was good.
Okay, so next up is 2019's Mary. A family sailing in isolated waters discovers the ship they bought holds terrifying secrets.
It's called Mary.
Yes, Gary Oldman, Emily Mortimer, and Manuel Garcia Rolfo. Not heard of that one either.
Yep.
Next
Great
up
one so far.
is 2024's The Little Mermaid. After archaeologist Dr. Eric Prince and his students uncover an ancient pagan temple in the depths of the Caribbean, Eric falls for a mysterious woman who resembles a mermaid him and his team encountered at sea.
And again, you could probably have just a specific podcast about mermaids and krakens and kind of the whole mythology of the sea.
Of course you could. Now the next one we've both heard of. So I fucking love this movie. It's number 28 and it's 2000's Bait with Phoebe Tonkin, Jamie Foxx, and I can't remember the guy's name that I'm looking at right now. He was on Charmed. I can't remember his name at the moment.
Hang on. Bait
Bait.
with Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
What's it about?
It's landing in jail for petty theft. Alvin finds himself sharing a cell with John Jaster, the incarcerated half the pair of a high-tech thief responsible for missing gold. His partner Bristol is. This doesn't sound anything like the Bait I'm talking about.
You're thinking about the Australian.
I absolutely am, and that's the picture they're showing too.
Yeah.
I wish I could share my screen with you because they're showing a picture of Phoebe Tonkin and Julian McMahon from Bait, but they're describing something that is not Bait.
Yeah, because I'm like, Jamie Foxx? I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow, good work, Ranker.
Yeah, I know, right? Great. I'm definitely. I did my research for sure.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Bait, right? It was a great film.
Yeah, it was a fun film. I mean,
Yep.
It's well, one of the earlier 3D movies. Whenever the 3D thing came back around.
I haven't seen 3D since Captain EO.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Disney,
I mean for people with normal eyes.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Mark, for
Thank
thank you for making fun of my physical defects.
No, I'm just saying normal eyes. Normal eyes.
Anyway, I'm kidding. I'm not that sensitive about it. So number 27, Mark, is a movie that I fucking hate.
Okay.
47 Meters Down, Uncaged.
So that was
The Sunken City with the shark.
There was 3 of them, I think. Let me just Uncaged. Oh yeah. That was the one where they just took they had the whole love triangle thing going on.
Yeah.
In it, and it's just like, why? Like kind of the found footage thing. Like I hate that they always have to add this sort of weird drama into it about relationships and people cheating on it. It seems like a trope in like a lot of found footage stuff, which I guess they're just trying to fill time and build tension between a few characters. But
yeah, I didn't care for it. I thought that the CGI shark was terrible. The premise was terrible. I just overall did not like it at all.
Yep.
So number 26, we have Shark Night from 2011.
That's the one with, I was going to say Dolph Lundgren, but it's not.
No, it's Sarah Paxson and Sonequa Walls.
No, but what am I thinking? Anyway, again, that's a very forgettable. I watched that back in the day. I'm like,
yeah. So number 25 is written by the same gentleman who wrote Jaws.
The Deep?
The Beast from 1996.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I like a good octopus/squid movie.
It was a TV movie that I missed. So I have no opinion on it
It's
whatsoever.
like Tentacles. Have you ever seen
Yeah.
Tentacles?
No.
Tentacles is fun. Starts
Well,
off with a giant squid, like taking like like scooping up a baby from a baby carriage.
yeah. So this next one is a great film. So number 24 is 2002's Below.
Yep. Submarine
I-
Hall is good.
Yep, I absolutely loved it. It was claustrophobic, it was tense, and they did such a great job with the atmosphere in this film that I don't know, I really enjoyed it. You know what's funny though is as much as I enjoyed it, it's not one that I seek out very often.
No, I agree. I think I've watched it twice.
Yep.
I liked it. I like it. I don't think it's anything kind of revolutionary, but I think they did good with the budget that they had.
Yeah.
It kind of, the submarine thing brings me back to I think one of my favorite Lovecraft stories. Again,
Yep.
short story called The Temple.
Don't know that one.
It's based in World War One.
Okay.
Two. No, he would have been. Yeah. When did he die? Anyway, so the submarine. I think it's World War Two. Yeah, it was because it's a German submarine shooting down like an American ship.
Yep.
They take a few of the survivors on board. One of them's got like this, effigy thing, and everyone starts to go insane. But it's really good. I wish somebody would make a full on movie about that. But
yeah. So next up is 2010's Alexandra Aja film Piranha 3D.
Doesn't count.
I agree, it's freshwater.
Yep.
So next up is a movie I have only seen once, and I don't remember much about it except that I had a crush on one of the guys in the film when I was very, very young. 1989's Deep Star 6.
Oh yeah. So you had Deep Star 6. You had The Abyss. You had Leviathan, right?
Yes.
I remember
Leviathan.
they all came out basically in the same year, I think.
Yep.
And I think they heard James Cameron was making The Abyss, so I think a couple of the other studios were like, "Oh, okay, let's jump in that bandwagon."
Right.
Deep Star 6 is fun. Oh yeah.
I liked Greg. I had a thing for Greg Evigan back then, so I know I've seen it. I just don't remember the movie at all.
It has Miguel Ferreira in it, and
it does not have them listed.
Not Miguel Ferreira. That's the guy from Dune. Who the fuck is it? That I'm thinking.
So next, while you're looking that up, number 21 is from 29.
It is Miguel Ferrer. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
You say so.
Yep.
Okay, so number 20.
He was in like the Night Flyer and stuff. He's been.
I've never seen the Night Flyer.
Let's see. I'm sure he was in. I think. Oh God, I'm doing so much stuff. Oh, that's right. He died a while ago. RoboCop.
What is that?
RoboCop? You've never heard of RoboCop?
Never. I don't know anything about Peter Weller.
But you've heard of RoboCop, right?
I'm kidding, Mark. I've seen RoboCop.
So he was in it. He was the guy that created RoboCop.
Okay, so number 21 is 2019's Sea Fever.
Yep, really good.
Have not seen it.
It's a bit of a different, I talked about it after I watched it on the podcast. So,
that's why I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't listen to you.
But yeah, it's really good. It's again very claustrophobic. A scientist goes out with a fishing crew because strange things have been happening. And it turns into, people call it like The Thing, but it's not really like that to me.
Okay.
But it's almost got that Lovecraftian feel about it.
Okay. So next up is a movie that I love, and I know you like it, but this movie also destroyed me when I was a kid. I cried so hard.
Little Mermaid.
Yes, 1977's Orca.
Yeah, I don't. I don't really care to rewatch it because I don't like the whole start of it.
Right.
But I mean, Richard Harris is always great and everything.
And it's got Bo Derek in it.
Yeah, and you know, it's very much the white whale, Moby Dick sort of thing too.
Yep.
That they put into it. The effects are really good.
They are. I cried in the opening of this film.
I just mean in general. But like whenever that fucking orca goes fucking nuts, he goes in, he like ripped. Isn't there like a they're doing some sort of celebration or something on the dock or something, and he just like, rips all the shit out?
Yep.
Yeah, you go, because humans are fucking terrible.
Exactly. Next up is 2009's The Triangle.
The Triangle or Triangle?
Just Triangle.
Yeah, with your woman from
Melissa George.
Yeah, from Home and Away.
Yep. Liam Neeson. Jesus Christ. Liam Hemsworth. I love this. I love this movie because it really fucks with your head.
Well,
like, it's all over the place.
It's a time loop movie, right? So I think it makes a great double bill with Time Crimes. If you've seen Time Crimes,
I have not.
But yeah, and I love the kind of the whole mythology about the boat, and you know they're talking about the name of the boat and everything, and it's almost like a moral tale. It's almost like a Greek hell.
Yeah, it sort of is.
Type of movie, and I think it does a great job of, you know, you're kind of behind her character, and then you find out kind of what she's done. And then you're like, yeah, well, you know what? You kind of deserve it.
Yeah, I agree. Number 18, we already talked about at the beginning, Mark. It's Sphere.
Yep, Sphere is great. And
what I love about Sphere is, excuse me, that this movie is not. I mean, yes, it's very tense. It's taught you until you figure out what's going on in the film. You think all of these are outside influences. Until you find out what's actually going on in the film. And then you realize that the whole movie is about how terrible people are to each other.
Well, I think like both with the novel and the movie, what's a great twist is something they reveal a quarter way into the movie.
Yeah.
Where, you know, they're on board and they're you know, and then they're like, made in China. What? Because it's an alien ship.
Yep.
But the concept of, you know, the alien ship is, you know, they brought back something and they're sort of on the ship and people aren't ready for this sort of power, which they're clearly not.
Clearly.
I mean, the whole thing about let's all forget about it. I don't remember if that's what happened in the book. Do you?
I didn't read the book.
I don't remember. But in a way, you know, people can probably say, oh, that's kind of a cheap way to end. I think it's actually a good way to end it because, you know, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, how else do you get rid of a power like that?
Yeah. Give it to me.
Number 17, we're going back to 1977.
Mm.
I've seen this movie exactly once, but it has one of the stars from Jaws in it. You know what I'm talking about, Mark?
Jaws 2.
No.
No, I don't know.
The Deep.
Okay, yeah. The Deep I watched early 80s.
Yeah, I can honestly say I might have seen it once on TV in the 80s. I don't think I've ever watched it again.
All I remember from that movie is the moray eel.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. I think there's an underwater spear scene in the film, and that's all I remember from it.
In my head, as whenever I was a kid when I watched it, was the moray eel was like the big bad of that movie.
Yep. So number 16 we alluded to earlier, Mark, or we didn't allude to it. We mentioned it pretty specifically. Dead Calm from 1989. Sam Neill, Nicole Kidman, Billy Zane. Billy Zane plays the perfect psycho in this film. It's very reminiscent of, or not reminiscent, because I don't remember which one happened first. This or the remake of Dead Calm, or not? Jesus Christ, Cape Fear. Because it reminded me a lot of Robert De Niro's character, where he starts off nice, but then he perfectly just and seamlessly just goes right into that psychotic personality, and he plays a great psycho.
It's that sort of manipulation,
Yeah,
where as an audience member you kind of pick up, okay,
Yep.
there's something not right with this person,
right.
but the characters around them are kind of it's like that charming sort of thing, like
Yeah.
the charming psychopath.
Yep. And this is honestly the first Nicole Kidman movie I remember ever watching. And she was fantastic.
I know. I wish they would stop showing the Nicole Kidman thing in the AMC theaters. It annoys me every time.
I just don't like it because her face doesn't move anymore.
I don't care about that. I just
Anyway.
like you don't need to show that every fucking time, AMC. I know you probably paid her a lot.
Actually, I went to AMC yesterday. They didn't show it.
You lucky son of a bitch.
I know. I was like, huh, weird. Anyway, next up, we're going to 1998. Treat Williams, Famke Janssen, and Anthony Heald.
Deep Rising, one of my favorites.
Absolutely. Again, a movie I remember liking, but I don't think I've ever watched it again.
Oh, you should rewatch it. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the CGI is it doesn't hold up, but it's a very fun movie.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite a gross movie in kind of the way that the monster goes about what it does, pulling a guy through a pipe and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, Mark.
A lot of fun.
What's that?
It's a lot of fun.
So next up is one of your favorite movies from 2018.
Underwater?
No.
Oh. 2018. I don't know.
The best part of this movie was his abs.
Oh, the Meg.
Yes. Absolutely. I had fun with it. It was a ridiculous
piece of shit.
I disagree. I thought it was a fun popcorn flick.
There's nothing fun about it.
I disagree. I absolutely disagree.
Okay. But that's what makes the world go around you.
Yeah, well, you can be wrong, Mark. It's okay.
It was just, just very a lot of just lame direct Jaws ripoffs and PG-13 fucking nonsense.
And you know what? I was really afraid that I was going to hate it because I love the book series.
I don't know how I like, I remember reading a couple of Meg novels back in the day. And
I've read them all.
I'm just thinking, okay, when they have all the swimmers and bathers and stuff, the Meg doesn't do fucking anything. Like, it was so fucking, excuse the pun, watered down.
Yes.
And just like, I don't. It felt like a corporate made movie. Let's try and appeal to the lowest common denominator, and fuck the source material.
Well, I'm the lowest common denominator, so.
Oh yeah. Well, at least you admit it. Yeah.
Yep. So next up is 1978. It's a sequel to the movie that's turning 50.
That would be Jaws 4.
2.
The Revenge.
2. In 1978, Mark?
No, I'm joking, Jim.
Well, your sense of humor sucks.
I'll remind you. I actually think Jaws 2 is a really good sequel.
I agree.
I think it takes from the first, but doesn't copy it. But I think it's way better than 3 and 4. Like,
oh, of course, anything's better than 3 and 4.
No, but I mean, if I was going to rate shark movies, Jaws 2 would be my top 5.
Yeah. I thought the end was pretty cheesy. If I'm being
honest. that was the one part that they were trying to replicate the first one.
Yeah.
Smile, you son of a bitch, and open up and say or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really liked. In fact, it's got one of the most terrifying screaming women in it in all of horror movies.
Are you talking about the one of the teenager?
Yeah, well, they're
Yeah.
all teenagers, but
No,
she
but the one with
was just
the
screaming
yeah,
unrelentingly, and it was just,
yeah,
oh my god, shut up.
yep. You
Um,
almost want her to get eaten.
but you know, and again, if somebody says Jaws 2, the first thing I think about is the sailboats, right, all together. The second is that helicopter pilot's beard. It's like, why is there an Amish guy flying this? But that helicopter sequence was great too.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, I think you're not going to replicate the first, and I'll see they wanted to make some money.
I agree.
But I like it. I think it.
So number 12 on this, we're going to skip because it doesn't qualify.
Well, just say it.
Crawl.
Okay.
It's about alligators and they're freshwater, not saltwater.
So you could, put in that. What are the Australian ones? Blackwater.
Crocodiles?
Huh?
You're talking about a saltwater crocodile?
No. I'm saying, as far as the alligator or crocodile ones, you could have Blackwater.
Right. Blackwater was good.
But those don't qualify.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you know how big saltwater crocodiles are?
No.
They're as big or bigger than great white sharks.
Oh.
And it's the weirdest thing if you ever look it up. But although you say saltwater crocodile, right, in your head you think crocodile, but seeing a saltwater crocodile on the beach is very strange.
Yeah.
Plus, they swim out into the ocean to different islands, and they're definitely being saltwater crocodile and sharks, attacking each other, which is weird to think about.
I believe it.
Well, I said it, so believe it.
Well, I don't believe you, but I believe that. And actually, I think I've seen a video of a croc attacking a bull shark during a Shark Week episode. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Number 11. You ready, Mark?
In fact, you could have an alligator fighting a bull shark, right?
You could, yes, because bull sharks can live in fresh water.
Mm-hmm. And they're around Florida.
Yep. So number 11 is 2010, The Reef.
Love it.
Do you? I've not seen it.
Oh, it's really, really good. It's, again, that's in my top 5.
Why?
Because the way it's done.
No, I'm asking you to give me a reason to watch it.
Okay, so it starts out some people on a boat, right?
Right.
The boat gets starts sinking. I don't remember why.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, so we can either sit here and the boat's going out to sea, like it's capsized, but they're on the bow of the boat. And they're like, well, we can either try and swim to shore, or we can kind of just sit here on the boat and wait for it to sink, and hopefully somebody comes out and saves us.
Okay.
And one of the guys who's like the captain or whatever, he's like, I'm going to sit on the top of this boat that's capsized because I know what's in this water, and I'm not getting in there to swim anywhere. And it's basically about a number of people trying to swim to the shore, but it's really well done.
Okay.
The sequel is not that good.
Well, I know you like number 10 a lot.
Yep.
Mostly because you hate movies where people are left behind.
You mean Survive?
No. I mean, they're left in an isolated location.
Oh, okay.
Open Water from 2003.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the first one was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though not a whole lot happens in the film, the tension and the drama is ratcheted up, and they do a great job with suspense.
Right. And again, I don't think, as long as, again, goes found footage, although it's not found footage, but it's shot in that way.
Yeah.
As long as the characters are fairly realistic,
yep,
you just have to put them in that environment. And you know, it's something that's happened. You know,
Yeah.
and it probably happened multiple times.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's terrifying. I mean,
Yep.
what are you going to do? I mean, you're fine.
So next up, Mark, on our list is number 9. 2017, Johan Roberts, starring Claire Holt, Mandy Moore, and Chris Johnson.
Shark Week.
47 meters down.
Mandy Moore was in that?
She was the main character, Mark.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even.
I love this movie. I thought it was great.
And
the twist on the end got me 100%.
I will have to rethink about the end because I did not like the twist in the end.
Okay, fair enough.
For whatever reason, but I don't remember.
Again, you have to suspend disbelief because they have to ratchet up the tension, but it's fantastic. I thought it was fantastic.
What's his name? Wasn't the guy from Full Metal Jacket the captain in that?
I don't remember.
Matthew Modine.
I don't remember. It's been too long. Yeah. I'm gonna have to rewatch it. Number 8 is a movie that everybody loves. Well, at least part of it.
Underwater?
No. It's from 2002, directed by Steve Beck. The Antonia Graza. The MS Antonia Graza. Any guesses?
No.
Ghost Ship.
Oh.
One of the best cold openings in a movie.
Yes. After the opening, the rest is kind of bland.
I still enjoyed the movie overall. I didn't hate it.
I mean, it was very much that era, whenever they were doing a lot of the remakes of, what the fuck do you call it? 13 Ghosts and stuff. It was very much in that style.
Yeah.
But I thought once you get past the awesome opening, it got very bland after it. So I'm like,
I can see that. That's a valid point. I still was bought into the story. We have to skip number 7 because it does not qualify because, again, it takes place in a lake.
Lake Placid.
Yes. But it is also the first time I ever heard Betty White curse, and it was great. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's no alligator, though.
Yeah, it is. Number 6 is a movie I know you like. From 2016 by Jaume Collet Serra. Any ideas?
No.
It's The Shallows.
I just watched that recently, and I thought it was okay.
I know. No, I did not know that. I, for whatever reason, had it in my head that you love this movie, and I don't know why.
Because Blake Lively's in it, and you confuse her with Kristen Stewart. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just not. I can't say I'm a big Blake Lively fan, but I know
it's
who.
The only thing I've ever seen her in.
Yeah, Well, I mean, other than that, in The Hills, was she on anything else? Wasn't she on The Hills?
The Hills.
Yeah, it was a TV show, reality TV show.
Oh yeah, because I'm watching that sort of stuff, James.
Yeah, I know. That's your favorite trope. That and Baby Metal. Anyway, Mark, number 5 we already talked about from 1989, directed by James Cameron.
The Abyss.
Yes.
And again, the Abyss is actually, the horror from that isn't even the water or the aliens. It's Michael Biehn.
Yeah.
And it's about how shitty humans are.
Right.
Like, do you remember watching it back in the day and you were like, holy shit, look at these effects?
Yes.
That was around Terminator 2.
When that thing came up out of the water and approached Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio in the bay of their submersible, I was like, oh my God, that's fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't like the way they drowned the rat in it. That wasn't very nice.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. So Peter Weller's up next from 1989.
Leviathan.
Yes.
Yep. Very cool.
I honestly have seen this once or twice in my life. I don't remember a thing about it.
This one is much more along the lines of The Thing,
Okay.
underwater, than like a Deep Star Six or whatever.
Then I need to watch it.
It's like they find a Russian sub, and then they find a safe, and in the safe, one of the guys finds like a liquor bottle, like a, and they're like, okay, well, let's have some of this, but it ends up it's like a not an infection. It's like a biological thing that turns people into monsters or whatever.
I watched, I think it came out around the same time. That was sort of similar, but it was mechanical, not biological.
Virus.
Yes. I loved that film.
It's cheesy fun.
It is. It is. Okay. So on to number 3, Mark. We're in the top 3. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is from 1999, directed by Rennie Harlin.
Deep Blue Sea.
That's right. Still one of the best shark, excuse me, Jaws ripoffs ever, because the way that they kill the sharks, quote unquote, pays homage to Jaws.
I mean, I think there's tenuous links to Jaws.
Well,
but
because they blow one up.
I mean, like you look
They
at
blow
the
one up. They electrocute one. Both of those are Jaws 1 and Jaws 2.
Okay, but I mean, the entire rest of the movie is not like Jaws.
I'm not. I specifically called out the way they kill the sharks, Mark. I didn't say the movie.
I know, but it's a very tenuous thing, which is why
it is not tenuous.
No,
It's direct.
So if there's a movie where it's on a spaceship and they blow something out of the airlock, that's an Alien ripoff, or
it's an Alien reference. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
So number 2 is from 2020, directed by William Eubank. Momadou Athie stars.
Who?
Momadou Athie.
Marmaduke.
Momadou Athie. I hope I'm saying that right.
Oh yeah, that person.
Vincent Castle.
Okay, what is it?
Underwater.
Oh, okay. I'm like Vincent Castle. I was thinking about somebody else. Yes, Underwater is absolutely fantastic.
It is such garbage.
I think
it is such garbage, Mark.
It's amazing.
It is not amazing. I did appreciate more the Lovecraftian elements, but until they reveal that at the end, it's pretty much a boring movie.
No, it depends. You like kind of like the Poseidon Adventure, another one. Do you like? But so half of the movie is that type of movie, right? It's a disaster movie where they're trying to escape, and then it becomes a Lovecraftian horror.
I will fully admit that my disdain for the lead actress influenced my opinion in this film.
First thing I've ever seen her in, and I thought she was amazing.
What do you mean the first thing you've ever seen her in?
I haven't seen her in anything else.
You're kidding.
Well, what else? So name some movie that she's been in before that I've watched.
I wouldn't know, Mark.
Right.
I would not know.
I haven't watched any of the Twilight movies. I haven't watched any other thing that she's been in.
You didn't see her in Snow White and the Huntsman. You didn't see her in the Charlie's Angels reboot.
No. Do you think I'm watching those movies? No.
I don't know, Mark. You do have a family, so you may be forced into watching some of these. What the heck just happened here?
No, nobody forces me to watch anything. No. Honestly, it was the first thing. It's like what's the other guy that played Batman? I think
Christian
the first
Bale?
thing, huh?
Christian Bale?
No, from Twilight.
I don't know what. I don't know what just happened to my screen, but it got all kinds of weird. Oh, let's go back.
Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Whatever. think the first thing I saw him in was Batman.
Was it?
I believe so.
What the hell?
And I know both of them have been like jokes for a long time from Twilight, but I've never seen it. But, I go into things just saying, well, let's see how they do in this one, no matter what they've done before. And I thought Kristen Stewart's performance was actually extremely, extremely well done in that movie.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, buddy. I did like her. I will say this.
Hang on. What did you not like about her performance?
I just don't like her in general. As a human being, I think she's...
Okay. Well, no, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, what did you not like in her performance?
Mark, what did I say about the film when we started this conversation?
I don't know. I don't listen to you.
My disdain for the lead actress informed my opinion of this film.
So I'm going to throw something out here, Jim. I just want to get your perspective on it.
Sure.
So I've been watching The Last of Us part.
Haven't seen this season.
The second season, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen this season.
I see a lot of people hating on Bella Ramsey because they don't like the way she looks.
Yep.
And they find her so off-putting.
Yep.
They're up there saying, she's so ugly, this is terrible, blah, 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 blah. Do you think that that's how people should, view like movies or whatever? Like, hey, I think this person's ugly. And I
didn't say she was ugly. I said I don't like her as a person.
You know her as a person?
I know about her life, her public life, yes.
Do you like Jeepers Creepers?
I like the first one.
Okay, so you know about the director, right?
I do, and guess what? Haven't watched it again since.
But you like it?
Mm-hmm. I did.
But you wouldn't like it if you watched it again, right?
I wouldn't watch it again.
If I put a gun to your head and made you watch it again, you would be like, I hate this now.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. I have a lot to say about some of the... I've watched some YouTube reviews about like The Last of Us and Last of Us 2, and it's... it just grinds my gears. Where people are just like, oh, she's ugly, or oh my god, they're making it. There's these two women together, and oh my god, first season, blah 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 blah. And you know what?
Did you watch the last episode, Mark?
Yes.
So you know about the twist?
Well, I played the game.
I have not, so I don't know.
The game is my favorite narrative game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I know exactly.
I don't want to spoil it, but I did read an article about the twist that came on the April 20th episode. And I'm not mad at it.
So yeah, I mean, this is what I always say. Like, people talk about Game of Thrones and whatever about, oh wow, they're killing off these characters and that's not usual. Whereas my head is that should be usual in movies and games and whatever, literature, because that's how life works, right? People shouldn't necessarily have plot armor all around them all the time.
Right.
So like to me, and I guess a lot, like, I don't want to like say, oh, it's just a bunch of fucking incels and like, oh, Joel's my favorite character and oh my god, they did this, and now we're concentrating on like this woman, now this other woman who's, one's a lesbian, the other one's like butch, and like get the fuck over yourself. Like, just take it in as a story.
Right.
Like it's like I don't understand that point of view.
It's
like
right.
you can say if something's logic doesn't seem logically correct, or this character seems this way in one scene and this way in another, and you could say, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Fine. But
there's one thing I have that is not in common with the people you're discussing right now, Mark, and that's the fact that I actually really loved Kristen Stewart's performance in The Messengers. I thought she was top notch in that film.
So this is what they call in the business, Jim, a paradox.
It's not a paradox.
Because in one hand, you're saying you really, really enjoyed her performance
In one film.
in one film, and then you're saying in this other film you didn't like her because you don't like her character in real life.
Her personal. Yeah, her person.
So did you not know about her personal life before The Messengers?
No, I did not.
So now you know it. Do you actively dislike it now?
I don't actively dislike it.
So do you think you think less of it?
No, I think less of her.
That's a very strange rat's maze you have of a brain.
Look,
I don't know how you function. That's weird. That's very strange.
Anyway, so Mark, the next movie on the list is the number one oceanic horror of all time.
Jaws.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to talk about some stuff I saw this week, Mark. Are you ready?
Go.
Okay. So I've been rewatching films, and I showed my mother some movies that I absolutely love that she had not seen yet. And number one is, I think it's from 96, 92 or 96. It was Deceived with Goldie Hawn and William Hurt.
Never seen it.
So it's the first time I ever saw Goldie Hawn in a dramatic role. And she fucking nailed it. Right? I think she's a fantastic actress, but this just cemented my love of her career.
What about her character, though?
Her character was awesome.
No, I mean her character in real life. Is she worthy?
As far as I know, she's fine. She's a normal human being.
Well, who knows? I'm going to take a leaf out of your book, Jim.
Okay.
Prior to watching any movie, I'm going to Google the actor's line. And if there's anything I don't like about it, 0 out of 10.
Fair enough.
No, I've not seen Deceived.
It's not
Goldie Hawn back in the day, but she was never like her and maybe it's her face or whatever. Her and Michelle Pfeiffer always seem kind of like
two women I absolutely adore. Yeah, I'll be honest. It came out around the same time, like Sleeping with the Enemy and the whole woman in peril thing was real big, where her husband dies, but then she starts to suspect he's not who she thought he was, and she starts to investigate, and then things take a really dark turn. But I love that movie. I always have, and I was a little worried watching it last night that maybe it wasn't going to hold up, but I still thought it was a really well done film. It's a little slower than I remember, but I still think it's a great movie. Then I showed my mother the film Promising Young Woman. Have you seen it? I think it's from 2020.
I'm glad you're sitting down, Jim. I have not seen Promising Young Woman.
So let me explain this movie to you, Mark, because in my opinion, it is the ultimate slow burn. It is the best slow burn film I've seen in probably the last decade.
But what's the category of movie?
This would be more of a thriller or psychological movie. So the movie, in the movie, you follow Cassie, who we find out.
Well, hang on. Who's the actress?
I don't know. I don't know her name.
I'm going to look her up, and I will search her history.
Okay.
What is it? Promising Young Woman?
Yes.
Okay, and we have Carey Mulligan.
Yes.
Carey Mulligan, Outrage. Let's see what's Carey Mulligan is Promising Young Woman, plays an old archetype. I was appalled to be tarred as misogynist.
What?
I'm just reading like the Google search.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Carey Mulligan takes on suffragettes shirt controversy. I think she sounds highly political to me. So I'm going to give this one a pass and automatically never watch anything that she's in ever again.
So the next time she destroys somebody's career, you let me know.
Oh, so that's the line, is it?
Well, that's one of them.
Oh, what's your other lines?
It just depends. It's very case sensitive.
Yeah. I don't like the whole suffragette thing. So.
Oh, you don't like women voting?
Yeah, no, that's my prerogative.
Whatever floats your boat, Mark. But just know that our two viewers have no idea who you are, and they have no idea you're kidding.
So we had the same thing on the last. Was it the last stream?
No, it was the one before it. The last stream, somebody was calling me a pet file.
And oh well, that's okay. But but as I told you, I really want to talk about the softening of language and how people don't understand how to take jokes anymore.
Anyway, so Promising Young Woman is about a Cassie who dropped out of medical school because of an event that happened to her best friend. And her best friend was emotionally scarred and could not cope with life anymore. Cassie has never been able to move on from her friend's suicide. So she's sort of stuck in her rut. And then she meets somebody. She meets somebody that she starts to have feelings for. And then she finds out that he was involved in the event that wrecked her best friend's life. And that he's still friends with the people that were involved. And she exacts her revenge.
Sounds like a reality TV.
It is not, Mark. When I tell you that this executed the trope so well that I never saw it coming. And it was just fantastic. Anyway, that's beside the point.
I think I asked you before if you've ever seen Gia, the Angelina Jolie.
I've never seen it.
This is her screen-worn sweater.
Ooh. You gonna go wash it now?
No, because it's got like the fake blood on it and stuff.
Anyway, so there's that. Then today, what else did I have her watch yesterday? I don't remember. But we went to the movies. I went to the movies and saw a new movie, Mark.
Ooh.
Went and saw Until Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was okay. It was not great. It was not terrible. It was just okay. In terms of story, it's pretty non-existent. It's obvious it's a video game, and they're just pulling out enough to be nostalgic for the video game. But the performances are okay. The actors and actresses are okay. It's got the girl that was the main actress from the new Hellraiser film is in it. Mm-hmm. She's not quite as annoying as she was in that one, though.
Yeah.
So
Until Dawn.
Yes.
This is, I mean, if you think about it conceptually, this is kind of a weird thing, right? So, I don't know. Did you ever play the video game?
No.
So, do you know what the video game is kind of?
Yeah, like? You have to survive until dawn, and you just keep respawning until.
Right. But do you know how kind of what you do in it?
No.
It's one of these. It's not like a regular video game where you're around shooting people or whatever. It's very much set up as a decision-based game.
Yes, I did know that.
Where you go, you're so it's supposed to be set up like a video game, that's like a movie.
Right.
But your choices,
sort of like The Suffering.
I haven't played it, but it's
Suffering was like that too.
It's like the Telltale games, where it's really like you do some running around, whatever, but your main thing is how you interact with people.
Yeah,
and that changes how the story goes.
Right.
And it was written by Michael Fessenden. Michael Fessenden.
Okay.
So it's weird that they wrote. He's a horror writer actor, right?
Yeah.
And they use his story to make a game to reflect what a movie is to a gamer, and then they took the game and made it into a movie. I mean, it's just a weird, like, It's like
come full circle.
it's like you're deconstructing something for a different genre, but
Right.
then you're building it back to the genre that you're taking it from,
Right.
or the media, not the genre, the media that you're taking it from. So it's like if I made a game that was based on a play, or
Right.
no, sorry, that was supposed to be a play. And then somebody made a play out of it. It just seems, I don't know.
The movie does. It suffers from something I've been seeing all too frequently, and it drives me fucking insane. Where the scenes that are shot on film are so dark, you miss the action. And it does a lot of it.
That's the what I call the Alien versus Predator Requiem syndrome.
And it drives me nuts, because if I can't see what's happening on screen, what the fuck is the point?
And you know, it always makes me wonder, you know, whenever, you know, they're editing stuff together, or they're looking at the dailies,
right?
That nobody, and I understand that, hey, if you're trying to cover up, you know, maybe some special effects that aren't very good or whatever, you make it darker.
Yeah.
But like, if you can't see half of it, it was like even the Game of Thrones that episode where they're like, oh no, everybody should go onto their TV and turn their brightness all the way up so you can actually see what's going on. Like,
why?
No,
right.
You shoot it correctly and
right.
you it correctly. Like I shouldn't be messing with my TV.
I agree.
Brightness and, you know, contrast and everything to watch something.
Right. But what I will say is there are legitimately moments I laughed out loud and some great jump scares.
I'll watch it eventually just because I played the game.
And I will probably buy it on physical media because I will eventually watch it again, but it's not something I'm going to seek out.
Yeah, I'll watch it whenever it comes on streaming, probably. But Jim, talk to your audience. I will be right back.
Okay, audience, I'm supposed to talk to you myself, I guess.
Yeah. Or just wax lyrical about me.
Wax lyrical? What? Are you high, Mark?
No, do you understand what that means?
Yes, Mark, I do.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm not an idiot. Thank you very much, though. Anyway, so I did do some shopping today, and I bought the Night of the Creeps 4K Blu-ray with the Detective Ray NECA figure. So that's pretty awesome. I can't wait for that. And I got the 4K Steelbook of The Blob. So I'm excited about those coming in. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I could talk about some audiobooks. Let me get out my audiobook list, see what I read this week. Let me see. Library, finished. Recent activity. Oh, I didn't download it. So I just read The Usher of the Fallen by L.M. Kaplan. That was a solid book. It's very Lovecraftian, sort of, kind of. But I really enjoyed that. I read The Jigsaw Man by Gord Rollo. That book was so unsettling. It was great. It was freaking fantastic. And right now I'm listening to the horror collection, Splatterpunk Dreams by KJK Publishing. So if you don't know who KJK Publishing is, that's Kevin J. Kennedy. And he does anthologies several times a year. The dude is insane. He's from Scotland. And he is just absolutely one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. He gets some of the best authors to contribute to his collections, and it's just amazing. So if you haven't checked out KJK Publishing's, I think he's got 22 anthologies out right now, and some of the most amazing authors are involved in his anthologies. It's pretty amazing. And for those of you that don't know, I'm currently working through an anthology. With the help of some fantastic authors, I am putting together an anthology for charity. All of the proceeds are going to go to the Point Foundation, which provides college scholarships to LGBTQIA individuals. It's a Bizarro splatterpunk anthology called Bizarre Splatter Patterns. It should be out the beginning of July. So keep your eye out on the Facebook group or TikTok or Instagram or my Facebook page, and you'll be the first one to know about releases. And then, Mark, are you coming back anytime soon? Because I am all out of shit to talk about. Oh, we did have Joe Lamb on a few weeks ago to talk about his new film, The Fetus. He has a drawing on his Instagram, on the Fetus Film Instagram. Tomorrow, actually, I think at 9:00, if you've entered, they're giving away up a total of, I think, $25,000 in prizes, which include a stay at the cabin that the movie's filmed in, some movie memorabilia. It just sounds overall awesome. Mark, you even got a T-shirt from the guy, didn't you?
For what?
Joe Lamb from The Fetus.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And it's a real high-quality T-shirt, too.
That's great. I was just letting everybody know about the giveaway he's got going on on his Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
I can't wait to watch it. Looks
so
great.
That's it for me, Mark. I don't have anything else to talk about that I've read or listened to or watched this week. What do you got?
So just before we do that, one movie when we're talking about like the ocean and stuff. Have you seen The Bay?
No.
You should watch The Bay, 2012. Barry Levinson.
Yep.
It's a
produced by Michael Bay, right?
No, but it's a really effective found footage for the most part. Mockumentary in a bit. It's really good. It's really good.
Does a bay qualify?
Yes.
Why?
What?
Why?
Because it's things from the ocean.
Okay, but we're talking about a bay.
Right.
I'm just fucking with you, Mark. Anyway, go on.
Okay, so Last of Us 2, just to continue with that. I had some issues with the second series a little bit, but I think overall it's really good.
Hey, Mark.
So far, yeah.
Mark, here in the United States, we call it seasons, not series.
Okay. Okay, Donald.
Anyway, continue.
Are you going to go swimming in the Gulf of America soon? Talking about oceanic horrors?
I can't even say it with a straight face. I'll never be able to say it with a straight face. The GOA. I'll never be able to say it with a straight face because it's stupid. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
I'll try and reach out to you in El Salvador. Okay. Last of Us. So Daredevil. I finished the new Daredevil Born Again, and I'm pretty disappointed in it.
That's a shame because I thought you were really enjoying it.
So there was aspects I liked about it, but it dragged on way too much. And I was reading up about it, and I guess they'd shot like most of this season. But then they went back and they reshot like a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So like the first episode and the last two episodes are very different from the middle episodes. And the middle episodes are very slow. And even though I like kind of the courtroom drama stuff, there was like zero Daredevil in it.
Right.
And it felt like it was building up to something. And it was just so uneven. And the Netflix seasons were much better.
Okay.
But, you know, they're doing season 2. And I think they're bringing back the people that did the first and the last 2 episodes. So hopefully the next season will be a bit better. They also had like very iconic supervillain in it, which they totally wasted.
Okay, fair enough.
So you know, I'm a modern man, Jim. So I like to you know, not make decisions for my wife, right? So we make them together. So I'm like, okay, I feel like watching a movie, but I've got a few movies in mind, but I'll let you pick whichever one you want. So I wrote them down in different pieces of paper, and I made her. Do you want to pick?
You made her perform for the
well,
the honor of picking a movie.
Well, I couldn't decide, and if I started to tell her about the different titles, then we would get into a conversation about what they are, and then it's just easier. Like, to strip off the Band-Aid, you make the decision because I'm very indecisive.
Yeah.
So she picked. So the choices were The Wolfman,
Okay.
which I haven't seen, Companion, which I haven't seen, and Mother, which I have, but I kind of wanted to rewatch. And she picked Mother. And
All right.
yeah, I really, really like this movie. It's even better on the second watch. Jennifer Lawrence is fantastic in it.
I love her as an actress, and I love Michelle Pfeiffer, but I hated that movie.
No, I think that movie's great. After we watched it, I liked my wife. Like, did you like it? She's like, no, I didn't like it at all. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
I knew I liked your wife, Mark. I knew it.
but she's like, it gave me like anxiety all the way through. And I said, well, at least it affected you in that way, right? Because I think that's a lot of the point of it. But she still didn't like it. But I think Mother is, again, I think it's a great movie to make a triple bill with Man and Antichrist, because they all have similar themes around them, and they're all kind of arty, arty farty stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what didn't you like about Mother?
Maybe you're right, and I need to give it a rewatch. But I'll be honest, it seemed very convoluted, very slow, and I never got into the story at all.
Did I go over kind of? You probably understand like who the characters are in it, right?
I get the general premise.
So Jennifer Lawrence is
Yes.
who? What character?
Mark, I can't dissect the movie. I watched it once and I didn't like it.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, you appreciate it more because it's a biblical allegory, right? The whole movie.
Okay, if you say so.
Jennifer Lawrence is Mother Earth.
Okay.
Javier Bardem is God. Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer are Adam and Eve.
Okay.
Their sons are Cain and Abel. And basically, it's about humanity fucking up the environment. That's what the whole movie's about. And God being kind of very apathetic about it. And, he did like Mother Earth to begin with, but now he's got all these fun humans and he's more interested in them. And it all gets fucked up.
Okay. Like you said, maybe I need to give it another shot because I tried it once and I did not like it.
Go into it knowing that, and I think you'll get a lot more out of it.
Okay. I'll give it another shot.
I don't know if there was anything else I watched. Let's see. Yeah, because I talked about Heretic and Hellhole last time.
Yep.
Yep, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, if anybody's still watching, I want to say thank you. It was a blast, and we will